We are not asking for permission. No, we're not. We're at a stage in life where we are making decisions that are best for us. We, as people of a certain age, women of a certain age, over 50, not quite to 60, somewhere in between, I'm done. I'm done playing by their rules. I have more sunsets behind me than I do sunrises in front of me. And I plan to seize every last one I can. But am I ready? Have I completely built my confidence up that I have enough? Because God knows I've had enough. If you're part of this Generation X, the over 50 facing 60, we got a few more years left in us to where we can continue working. So if you're not confident that you're prepared for retirement, which for many of us, according to their numbers, not ours, is about 10 to 15 years away, then it's time we got serious. And if you're really fed up, if you're wanting out long before the age they tell us, which is now for Gen X, it's 67, not 65. But if you're ready to take this next step, but you don't know how to figure out if you're really ready, let's talk. Get a cup of coffee, get something cold to drink. We got a few things to unpack because we are not asking permission. We're figuring it out as we always have. And we're reinventing what the second half of life is going to look like for us, regardless of what anybody else thinks. So as per usual, we are questioning a lot of things that we have been told to just accept, just believe. Loyalty to the company, to your job, to your coworkers is what you're supposed to do. You should be grateful that they're giving you this paycheck. Well, we've lived long enough. We've had enough jobs. We've had enough experience to realize that we've got value. And what we bring to the game at this age with our experience, with the length of time we've been with the company, with the skills that we possess, the historical knowledge of how the boss 3 bosses ago made decisions that are impacting us today that somebody else is having to clean up. We know where we were, we know where we are, and we got a pretty good idea of how to get them to where they want to be. So, being loyal to the company, yes, to a point, but by goodness, they need to be loyal to us and respect us. So when they change policies on a whim because it's today's pop culture thing to do or it's something that's trending and it rolls downhill and impacts us, that brings us up, dare I say, by the short hairs on our chins and makes us wonder, what's in this for me? Because we've spent a lot of time on these jobs, and maybe you've got multiple years, multiple decades in on the job you currently have. I was a contractor most of my life. I am currently a full-time employee. I have been for the last more than 5. But at the end of the day, my life pattern has been organized around the service I provide for this company. And when they decide to change the structure of that, it rolls through and impacts everything. And usually I can roll with it. Yeah, how is that? I can roll with it. But there comes a point where I'm tired of rearranging my life to fit their expectations. Am I over it? Yeah, I'm over it. But does that mean I'm quitting? No, not quitting. Yeah, a little mad, but rage quitting is never a good idea. But I am planning. I am preparing. Dare I say I am prepping. Hey, retirement prepping. Maybe that's a new brand. We'll have to see about that. The traditional retirement assumptions. Not so much things that we were told this is how it's supposed to be, but there's a lot of things that we witness growing up that we just assume is the way because nobody tells us anything different. So with the retirement assumptions, as far as work hard, put in the time, save a little bit here, and here, and eventually you'll be able to retire. And retirement means you just get to come home and not do anything. Well, all of that we're turning on its ear because many of us, myself included, we don't want to 100% quit working. I enjoy the daily rhythm. I enjoy the creativity and the production of the things that I want to move into. Do I want to keep working for somebody else for the next 10, 15 years, depending on if that's how much longer I choose to produce an income? No, I don't. I very much appreciate my current occupation and my current employer. I am not leaving anytime soon, but eventually I will leave. So I am currently preparing, not even preparing, I am currently pursuing my hobbies, things that bring me joy, things that keep me sane in the insane world of my 3 hour a day commute and 9 to 10, 12 hours on the ground for the company. So I am currently pursuing my hobbies, which happen to be this right here. This is one of my hobbies. I love the technology involved in this. I love the learning new skills, etc. But if this was to be something that I wanted to continue doing passionately post my career occupation, then so be it. I have a couple of other hobbies too that could possibly create income at some point. And if they do, then fantastic. But I do intend to continue pursuing my interest, which may or may not produce income. Now, with that said, many of us have a gap between what we need and what we have. We're going to have to continue working for a while until we strategically fill that gap and pay off debt. If you don't know what your current number is, and I mean what you spend every month right now, go to the description. This is critical. This is urgent. This is your barn is on fire. You have got to figure this out. You have got to know your monthly number. Down in the description, free for you, Master Your Money Plan in Life Income to Income Streams. No, Life Experience to Income Streams workbook. All right. So go to the description, free for you. Go to my retirement resource center at the website and pick up the Master Your Money Plan. This is a basic budgeting workbook. You have to know what your number is today in order to figure out what your number is going to be in retirement, and then you can figure out when you can retire, or if you're going to be part of us that are creating the hybrid retirement, which is we've got a gap or we want to keep working, so we are going to transition into that versus come home and sit around and eat bonbons and watch stories or golf and fish all day. Also down there, I've got Life Experiences to Income Stream workbook. This is for those of us who are looking to produce a little bit of extra money or perhaps a little mad money. Maybe we don't necessarily need it for our monthly budget, but we enjoy having that extra fluid income to feed our passions, our travel, our charities, whatever you want to use the fundage for. So go down and grab those. Those are free for you. And have you noticed, I am less tolerant of the BS. Yeah, there's a saying, I do not suffer fools gladly. And I have learned the meaning of that. I don't have time for the office drama. We all have entered into the workforce as we were green and young and starry-eyed, and we were just taking life by the horns. We were. And we've lived multiple tiers and decades to get to where we are now. But from this lofty position of a woman who has been working for 30 or 40 years, wow, it has been 30 or 40 years. But from this lofty position of a woman who's got a lot of road behind me, I don't have time for that office drama or the hurt feelings, etc. It's, come on, let's put on those adult panties, those big girl panties. We got a job to do and we got a life to live, and let's do it joyfully. Let's do it confidently, bombastically, and tailored to what you want, what I want. As we're redefining what this next stage looks like, because each one of us can figure that out for ourselves. You can decide, this is what I want to do for the next 5, 10, 15 years. And that may include continuing on with this job. So you got to figure out how much you need monthly. You've got to start looking into, what have I actually put away for retirement? What is that little itty bitty Social Security check going to bring me every month to keep me from starving the way it was intended? But once you figure out what your overall picture looks like, you will have the confidence then to decide, I want to do a hybrid retirement. I'm going to have to work for a little while, especially if you're trying to escape your current situation before age 65, because there's a lot of additional expenses that you would have to take on, like your health cost and your insurance and things of that nature, your vision, your dental. Again, down in the description, Retirement Resource Center at my website, there is also a healthcare checklist out there for you to dive into that if you are considering leaving early. But once you figure out how much you need and how much you got, and you can decide what the next 10, 15, 20 years are going to look like for you, whether you are 100% laying it down and you can do it early, or if you're going to do this hybrid retirement. And what is a hybrid retirement? A hybrid retirement is what they used to call semi-retired. It is basically that you're going to continue working, probably in a part-time fashion, possibly working for the health benefits or the additional benefits that might be included in that. But whatever your motivation is, a hybrid retirement is you're not 100%. Okay. Semi-retired is basically the same thing, but we're Gen X. We have to rebrand it. It is ours now. We're reinventing it. But then there's the glide retirement, and that is what a lot of us, whether you intend it or not, are going to find yourself into. Here we are, full-time plus employees. We are seeing the finish line down the road down there, and we want to get there. So maybe we start tapering off, and that can be with the amount of energy, which is a huge commodity as we continue to move into this next phase of life. Protect your energy. Don't give more than what they're paying you for energy-wise. Don't bring it home at night. Start practicing your retirement now, but protect your energy. So if you're ready to stop asking permission, if it's time for you to start thinking about retirement, if somebody's going to say, hey, you're over 50, you're facing 60, you can't retire to here, etc. It is not up to your HR. It is not up to your boss. It is not up to your husband or spouse. However, they do have quite a bit to say in this equation. So definitely consult with them as you're looking into and preparing this. But if you have had enough, but you're not sure you have enough, figure that out now. Keep coming back to this channel. We are talking about this. The community is out there sharing their stories, offering tips. This is where you need to be to figure out when you can finally retire. But it's not just about the dollars, it's about the cents as well. And that is something that this video hasn't dove into to the level some of my other ones do. So go binge all my content, because not only do you need to have a plan for how you're going to exit, you need to start living like you're retired now. All right, I'm Jenny. I post on Wednesdays and Saturdays. I got a little to say about a lot of stuff. All of it has to do with retirement and how we get there and what it looks like, and does it have to be what our grandparents did? And the answer to that is no, it doesn't. Okay, I'll see y'all soon. Stop recording. Especially when their expectations are above and beyond what I'm tired. I'm tired of changing my life, rearranging my days, my duties, my responsibilities outside of that job to fit their new company policy du jour. There, I've said it. Probably going to go on the bloopers at the end. Which means that we're going to have to continue working at something to bridge that gap until life, because, yeah, there's no because there. So the energy that you need today is going to be different as you glide down. So the energy you're spending here at the office, for me, with the commute and the extra time on the ground and everything else I'm doing for the family and for my mom, that energy is going to be returned to me in this glide down. So yeah, I'm a full-time plus right now. Add in everything else I do. I'm surprised I get 6 hours sleep a night. That's a good night for me. But when that's said, my glide down would look like, okay, so I'm going to keep working full time until this date on the calendar. And then I'm going to approach the company about maybe reducing the hours, keeping the benefits, but reducing the hours. And then see how I can stage that down until that comfort place. they may not go for that. I don't know if my particular company is going to allow a reduction of hours, even if I proposed a reduction in pay, because I would take an equivalent reduction in pay for the reduction of hours. I'm good with that. But you don't know. But a glide down retirement doesn't have to be 100% dependent on the job you currently have. Because any job, because we're at the point in life where insert job here, this is my last job, period. If I needed to go get a Band-Aid job to bridge what I need to where I want to be and health benefits, etc., I hate to say that's a disposable job, but that's a job that I would give my all to for what they pay me and for the benefits and possibly part-time, which would be great. But that would not be a job that I would be concerned about putting on my resume. Remember when we first started our careers and we just had job after job after job? Okay, many of us. Some of you went straight to college, then went into your forever jobs. Good for you, not me. I was working 3 or 4 places in the mall concurrently. I was pretending like I was in college for a couple of semesters, and then I hit the road and became a gypsy. So I've got a string of jobs. Eventually, I settled into what became my career track, my career vocation, something I absolutely love. But there were a lot of jobs figuring it out. So for those of us who did not go to college and get the investment education, for those of us who learned on our feet and figured it out, you know what I'm talking about. You got a lot of job history behind you. So as we move into the next phase of life, I know how to do a great job for somebody. I know the value of a good employee. I know a lot of things now I didn't know in my late teens, early 20s. And I would never enter into a exchanging service for pay agreement with somebody without the intention of doing my absolute best. But it would not be part of a long-term plan. I'm not going to spend 30 or 40 years with the next company if I had to get a Band-Aid job. It would be, I'm going to be with you for about 3 or 4 years max, and happy to train a wonderful replacement. Okay, so now I'm rambling, so this could be cut up into several videos, but let's wrap this one up.